It's now my pleasure to introduce Ann Doerr, philanthropist, who will be introducing Sal Khan. Those of you who don't know her, Ann is a well-respected philanthropist and is the founder of the John and Ann Doerr Family Foundation, which dedicates funding to improving educational opportunities to underserved communities. The foundation partners with other institutions to find and invest in innovative, high-impact methods of transforming America's schools, improving the health of Americans, and employing more people in clean energy and other emerging industries. In addition, Ann serves as the trustee of the Environmental Defense Fund. Ann Doerr.
Thank you so much. It's just an incredible honor, and I'm delighted to be able to introduce Salman Khan tonight. Silicon Valley Forum chose wisely when you selected Salman Khan to receive your 2012 Visionary Award, as you are a group devoted to continuing education and career development. I can't think of a more deserving person to exemplify what you stand for than Salman Khan. Sal is truly one of a kind. He is both a dreamer and a visionary. Sal is an educator first and foremost. He has an amazing ability to master complex issues, and in fact, he has the credentialing to prove it. In 1998, Sal graduated from MIT in 4 years, receiving 3 degrees: a Bachelor of Science in Mathematics, Electrical Engineering, and Computer Science. Additionally, in 2003, he received an MBA from Harvard Business School. You know, Sal, I actually haven't watched all of your 3,000 plus videos. Do you have one covering the algorithm of the scheduling at MIT to take your actual finals? Okay. Or perhaps do you have a physics video defining the speed at which you have to go to travel from one department to another to receive all those diplomas on commencement day? I didn't have that problem, so I didn't have to work on those algorithms. Another aside, Sal this year was MIT's commencement speaker, and he was the youngest speaker they've ever had. Anyway, getting back to my comments. Sal's job prior to founding the Khan Academy was a hedge fund quant, not surprising based upon that set of degrees, but his true vocation is helping others. He started first by coaching his cousin, which led to more coaching of family members, to posting lessons on YouTube, and to his surprise, resulting in a worldwide following. Sal could easily have turned his skill set into for-profit opportunities. News organizations were coming to Sal to help explain the financial meltdown, and he explained it not only to them, but to all of us, free of charge. It was during this time that I first met Sal. He had quit his job, and he was living off of his dwindling savings in a modest rental home with his accomplished wife, who was completing her medical residency, and his infant son. Sal was creating videos in the closet of his bedroom, alone, and hosting them on a YouTube channel called Khan Academy. Sal took the highest possible route. He believed and still believes in a quality education should be available to all. Not a surprising position when you get to know Sal. But as you can imagine, the for-profit education industry has tried to woo him from his point of view. Bucking logic, Salman Khan remained steadfast in his resolve while his personal savings continued to decline. When I first met Sal, I tried to understand him. Here is a man that could profit handsomely from his skills, but he has chosen a different path. Instead, Sal has shown what education can be. He has disrupted the industry. Why? Who is this man? This is the man who, at his very essence, has the need to make other people's lives better. If you spend 5 minutes with him, you'll understand that deeply. Might this have been because Sal knew he had been the beneficiary of others' generosity that allowed him, a poor kid living in New Orleans, born to immigrant parents to attend MIT? Or is it just in his DNA? This I cannot tell you. Sal simply believes everyone deserves to have access to a world-class education, regardless of age, race, gender, color, creed, geography, or finances. You begin to understand Sal when you watch his videos. He isn't the star. In fact, you don't see Sal at all. You see his pen writing on a black screen. You hear his voice, a voice that clearly conveys respect for you, the viewer. Sal deeply believes everyone is capable of greatness. Sal is creating an institution to hopefully exist beyond his lifetime and become a resource for the world. Sal knew he couldn't do this all alone, and Sal has attracted the most distinguished team, all of whom share this vision. Fortunately for them, Sal has moved out of his closet. Khan Academy today is a team of over 30+ highly talented individuals. Take a moment to think about this. Sal has attracted top talent in Silicon Valley without the benefit of stock options. This team is as noble as Sal. It is my honor to know Salman Khan and the team he has assembled. Now it is my great pleasure to introduce Time Magazine's 100 Most Influential People, and in which Bill Gates' article describes Salman, stating, Sal Khan is a true education pioneer. He started by posting a math lesson, but his impact on education might truly be incalculable. To date, KhanAcademy.org has delivered over 160 million lessons and has both served and scored over 500 million problem sets. Now it is my pleasure to give you Salman Khan.
No, thank you so much, and I think that was the best introduction I've ever gotten. And I'm like, who is that guy? He seems pretty impressive. No, and so thank you so much. I mean, a lot of y'all, I mean, there's so many people to thank. The first and foremost, well, actually, many people first and foremost, I actually need to thank my wife. One, she, during the years when this was a delusional guy who was, I guess, still in the closet, she entertained it and was willing to play into my delusions. Even when we you know, some of what Anne described what was going on. And the second big reason is this is actually our 8th wedding anniversary today, that she was willing to, and it's actually not a bad setting, actually. It could be, maybe it's a, yeah, go to Taco Bell or something. But so it's been really tremendous, and I also need a deep thanks for Anne. I mean, you know, she's understated her own role in this adventure that's been Khan Academy, the surreal adventure that's still going, and actually this is part of it. But, you know, Anne was really the first person to really step out of the woodwork when it was, you know, 9 months into it, and I was starting to update my resume, not quite sure how the hedge fund industry would treat someone who tried to start a not-for-profit. No, they're actually all very nice people. I joke too much about that. Very good firms. But Anne really was. She really came out of the woodwork, and you know, even more than the initial kind of support to allow us to stop digging into our savings. It was just that validation that this idea that we could do kind of civilization scale education, that we could reach the world, you know, the mission statement was a free world-class education for anyone, anywhere, that it was actually possible, and that serious people actually believed in this vision, I think meant more than anything. And my wife would tell you kind of how much that meant to me the day that Anne had stepped forward, and since then just has continued to be almost like a I mean, you know, like my favorite aunt or godmother, and just overall for the team, just the most amazing person, and supporting us in infinite different ways. And obviously I get a lot of credit for it because it's called Khan Academy, and I tell people it's a not-for-profit, and I thought a lot about control and things like that, and I figured that's the only way I could keep them from firing me. so I get a lot of credit for it, but it really is a much larger team now, over 30 people, tremendous people, and I've done the, early on, I forgot who gave me the advice, but they said, average up when you hire, and I've done that in spades, and almost everybody in the organization is just incredible. And thank you so much for having me here, because, as you can imagine, it's been a surreal adventure. I was literally one man operating from a bedroom closet even 2 years ago. And since then, we've been on this kind of hockey stick ride where people are starting to think about how education can be transformed. And it's really gotten me thinking, anyone who knows me knows I read a lot of science fiction, and it feels like I live in a science fiction book, especially when I'm on stage with people launching rockets. But I do think we are at a very interesting time in history, and it's kind of related. Is that when you're sitting in the 80s, 70s, and 80s, and you imagine what the world in 2012 would look like, you imagine flying cars or being able to try, supersonic travel and all of that. And what happened is none of that kind of stuff happened, but but slowly but surely the innovations that did happen were actually far more transformational. Obviously, the internet and all that came with it, and now you have people, being NASA on some level, and I think education is another big one. And the one thing that we hope at Khan Academy is that what you see so far that we've just been working on is really just the proof of concept, and we really just think we're at the very tip of the iceberg in what's possible. And I think over the next 5, 10, 50, 500 years, we think we're at an inflection point in history where it's possible to build an institution that really is capable of reaching every learner in the world and making a world-class education like clean drinking water. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Sal.